So, a little bit about 2 days ago, I posted that I'll be making a Dragon Ball Super discussion after I completed the DLC story mode on Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. And really, I said it on social media, and I'll say it again. It opened my eyes. Like for those of you who may not have completed the story, it will contain spoilers. I do want to put some tidbits. I've mentioned discussions about Dragon Ball Super as well, about how they should take concepts from like Dragon Ball Heroes, another game, a popular game that's now a PR anime, and obviously put it into Super. Now we don't, as of right now, we don't know if Dragon Ball Super is going to be a thing next year. All we know conclusively is Dragon Ball Super movie Broly is going to be a big indicator, and I mentioned this earlier in the year that it would be a big turning point of where the series goes, if it returns or not. But a lot of people seem to think that it is, but even if it is or it isn't, we can still speculate, and it's fun to give input, and I really want you guys to give your 2 cents in the comments below after this, what you guys think they should do if Dragon Ball Super returns, or if they make another anime series related to Dragon Ball. I'll start with the obvious. So obviously, since I finished off with the DLC story mode, like if you're unaware, we got Few. Obviously, is a big part of Super Dragon Ball Heroes anime right now. Obviously, with the Prison Planet arc. But and I'm looking at this, and because Super Dragon Ball Heroes are doing the PR anime, like promoting their game, to promote the game, that's what it's there for. Fan service, crazy, yes. 8 minutes a video, yes, but there's a lot of content. In fact, I watched a lot of people's reactions to that. I saw the thing myself, and I was like, boom. I knew this was going to be a gold mine, despite how short it is, because of the amount of content we're getting. Because it's fan service, it caters to what fans want. That's what fan service is. Why do you think people are so hyped for Dragon Ball Super movie Broly? Isn't that fan service? So again, one way or another, we've got something to keep people hyped. If and when we do get the series of Dragon Ball Super anime returning or not. So there's a lot. So and I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking, couldn't Bandai do the same thing with Xenoverse 2, or maybe even FighterZ, and make a PR anime out of that? Even if we don't get a full-fledged anime, I'm looking at this objectively, and I'm thinking the characters and the storylines we got in these games are like, at least from FighterZ and Xenoverse 2, or Xenoverse in general, is like, what the hell? It's like people want to see Demigod in the actual anime. And I watched Laughingstock Media's live stream Q&A, his recent one, and one of the questions that popped up is, would they like to see a Demon Realm arc if Dragon Ball Super returns? And obviously the answer is yes, and I think we all would. But I'm looking at this, it's like, when I complete the game, it's like an epiphany. Like, how can they bring so many characters back? Like, for instance, Deborah is a big plot point in the DLC story mode. So obviously, spoiler alert, if you have not played the game, obviously a lot of people have, but there are some that haven't. So again, you will be spoiled. So Deborah appears, and he's the one that's actually interfering with time, who's actually trying to gather up time, who's screwing up with the timelines, and he's actually doing this as a way of getting revenge for his sister Toa, obviously, for what happened at the end of the actual story with Mira and all that. And the thing about it is, he's getting stronger, he's turning everybody to stone in Konkon City, and I'm like, why the hell didn't they do this in the anime? Why the hell? And granted, we saw Deborah in like what, a tidbit of a Dragon Ball Super episode. I believe it's in episode 49, where Trunks took care of him. But I'm like, couldn't they bring back Deborah in some other capacity other than a underleg, or in this case, in a filler back in Dragon Ball Z when he was stuck in hell and he's wearing a bunch of flowers? That was no portrayal of a Demon King, in my opinion. And a lot of people want to see this character brought back because his character design was so unique. He has so many cool abilities. Like, by spitting on you, he can turn you to stone. He can spit lava. He gave Gohan a run for his money. But and I'm looking at this, and like, they have introduced the Demon Realm, and I've said this before, in canon-based material. So why couldn't they introduce the whole Demon Realm in a future Super Dragon Ball Heroes arc or in Dragon Ball Super itself, and it wouldn't be a bad thing. In fact, if you've learned anything this year about Dragon Ball, it's like never say never. But so this may happen, it may never happen. But if I'm just getting my thoughts on this because there's a lot of characters they can flesh out, new characters. There's a lot of universe from, or at least 4 of them we didn't get introduced to at all at the Tournament of Power. I mean, they were exempt from participating, so they could have something to it as well. Maybe a demon. What you guys think down below? Should they use concepts from the games? Like, should they introduce the likes of Toa and Android 21? I've mentioned this before. I sound like a broken record, but each time something new pops up, like whether I complete a game, I'm mystified as how the games can actually make characters more relevant, but the anime can't. Now, for the most part, the Dragon Ball Super anime is not bad. There's certain bad points, like the power scaling is bad. I mean, certain portrayals of certain characters are bad. But the game, there's a lot to talk about Dragon Ball Super. There's a lot of good points and there's a lot of bad points. I just feel if they took concepts that are popular, and by the way, the reason why we're getting a PR anime right now is do you think it's a coincidence because it happens to be related to a game? No, the reason they're doing this is because Dragon Ball Heroes is blowing the fuck up in Japan. That's the reason why we get this PR anime. And I said this before, and I'll say it again, and I'll continue to say it again on my channel. If something is popular, as viral as Dragon Ball Heroes is, or has been, or anything related to Xenoverse, or even Dragon Ball FighterZ, or even or a character like Broly, it cannot go unnoticed. And now we have a movie where Broly is going to be a reboot and pretty much canon for this part. So if it's popular, it will not go unnoticed for very long, especially when it comes to Dragon Ball. So maybe if our voices are heard, maybe somewhere down the line, something like Xenoverse or a concept like Xenoverse or even FighterZ for that matter could be used in Dragon Ball Super if it returns. So I just want to get my thoughts on this because I think characters like 21, Toa being introduced, Mira, Demigra for sure. A Demon God? Are you kidding me? The Makaioshins? Yeah. I think I want to see that. Obviously, Mechikabura as well from Super Dragon Ball Heroes. We could get that. We still could get that in the Super Dragon Ball Heroes PR anime after the Prison Planet arc. Obviously, we got episode 3 in September, but after that, we really don't know where that's going to go. So, I'm arc right now. As again, spoiler alerts. I made a discussion about this when it comes to like the current arc in the game where Demigrat and his secretary, I believe it's Ribera, right? Demigrat, he returns with a new design. So why can't the anime do the same thing? And it's mind-boggling to me. Like they have Deborah stronger than Majin Buu. So think about that concept. That never happened in the anime. He got bitched. I mean, he got punked out for all intents and purposes by Buu. So imagine if Deborah had returned. And would Dragon Ball Super have done Deborah's character any better? Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, for sure I want something like the Demon Realm arc or something like Xenoverse 2 happening in a Dragon Ball Super anime, or maybe not even an anime in general, maybe a future movie or a special. Or maybe they should just Bandai should actually capitalize on the popularity because you can't tell me Xenoverse isn't popular given the way things are happening right now. We've got the DLC 7 on the way with Kefla and Super Baby Vegeta, so you cannot tell me that Xenoverse 2 isn't just as popular as Dragon Ball Heroes. So maybe Bandai could do the same thing eventually with Xenoverse 2 and make a PR anime out of that. There's a lot of content to make out of that, even if we don't get it in Dragon Ball Super. I'll be down for that. I've mentioned that enough on this channel, but let me know what you guys think down below. The likes of the characters I just mentioned, including like Deborah, Demigra, Toa, Android 21. I mean, she's in FighterZ, but I've mentioned this in comments before. There's no reason just because she's a part of a different game that you can't have them mixed into one game itself, like a crossover, right? We've got them in Dragon Ball Heroes, right? So Android 21's a part of that now. And she's a part of Dokkan Battle, so is Toa, so is Mira, so why can't they have them in the same anime or the same game? If there's a future game, would you like to see them in the same one? Quick answer to that is yes, absolutely. Can you imagine Android 21 and Toa Mirror, Demigra, Few in the same game. And I would want, honestly, I want to see Mechagabora in the same game, as well as the rest of the Time Breakers, like Time Breaker, King Vegeta, Time Breaker Bardock, obviously. Obviously, Time Breaker Broly. I think a lot of people would like to see him. And there's something else too. Before I wrap this up, that we've got a new reboot of Broly, but I would not be surprised if Super Dragon Ball Heroes later down the road has Broly in it and has him clash off with the Time Breakers version of Broly. Like that'll be something else if like the Broly we got in the movie actually allies with likes of Goku and Vegeta to take on Time Breaker Broly from the Demon Realm. That'd be sick. So let me know what you guys think down below. Also, since I'm talking about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, if we ever get a Xenoverse 3 and we get obviously I want a Xenoverse 3 to happen, unless we get a new game that allows you to customize your own character. Vegeta in the movie, spoiler alerts for anybody who hasn't seen the updates, but when it comes to Vegeta, he is going to be using Super Saiyan God, not just Super Saiyan Blue, his original Super Saiyan God that was in the manga. So, unless we get an explanation as to how he got it, whether it's with the ritual or if he just did it like Goku did at the Tournament of Power, if we come to find out Vegeta can activate it without the ritual, then if Xenoverse 3 actually does happen, then I would want my character to become a Super Saiyan God, or want the option to become Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan Blue, as well as obviously Ultra Instinct, Mastered Ultra Instinct. So, yeah, Bandai just paid me right now. So have your character go Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, or Ultra Instinct. Post in the comments below. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Like this discussion if you did /video. Catch you guys on the next one. Bye.